Hi guys, it's Ben Heath from Lead Guru, and in this video I'm going to show you how to create a Facebook lead ad campaign. It's one of the most widely used campaigns. A lot of service-based businesses use it. A lot of other types of business actually use it now as well. If you can use specific offers, it can work quite well. I'll explain that as we go through this video. But if you're a service-based business, if you operate on a local basis, then lead ads are probably your bread and butter. So I thought I'd create a quick video, show you the steps of how to create ones that can really deliver fantastic results. We do it all the time for our clients. We create tons of lead ads. So yeah, let's go through it. So first thing you want to do is head into Ads Manager, which is where I am right now. Don't worry about all of this. I'm going to create a new example campaign. Then you want to go to click that green plus create button, and the first thing we need to do is obviously create this this campaign. So let's just give this a name. Let's call this example lead ad campaign. Buying type, we'll leave that as auction. Traffic, this is very, very important, obviously, that we change this to lead generation. Okay, then for now, we'll just write placeholder in here and placeholder in here. You're obviously going to want to change that at some point, just so you guys are aware. What I would normally do at the ad set level is describe the targeting that you're using. So, gender, age ranges, any interest, behavioral targeting, things like that. And then again, with the ad, I would just describe the ad. So if I'm using a particular image, I'd say, outside image, or I don't know, sofa image, or whatever it happens to be, and then a little bit about the text. Long copy, short copy, something like this. Just a little bit of extra info. Okay, let's click Save to Draft, and then let's head into this this example campaign and go through some of the steps. So in this sort of quick creation, you can see we've got the campaign level, the ad set level, and the ad level. It's taken us straight into the campaign level. There's nothing much we need to do here. We are not going to mess around with budget optimization. I'm going to make another video about that shortly because that's quite an interesting point. Lead generation is exactly the objective we want to use, and that's it. So click into here and let's go into our ad set. Now the ad set, if you're not familiar, is where you establish who you're going to advertise to, and it's where you establish where on Facebook you'd like to advertise. So that's the way I think about it. I think about basically targeting and delivery. So obviously, if you manage multiple Facebook pages, make sure it's associated to the right Facebook page when you're running an ad. It's easy to make that mistake. We've seen that happen quite a few times. Don't worry about this. Set your budget, whatever it is that you're comfortable with. People always ask me, how much should I spend? And it really depends on the results you want to get. So what I would usually recommend is get a campaign launched, spend £50, £100, something like that, see what your cost per lead is, and then basically work out how much you need to spend. So let's say, for example, you run a campaign and leads are costing you $8 each, and you've worked out that your business needs $100 a month in order to grow and meet your objectives, etc. Okay, so you need to spend $800 a month. Now, obviously, different businesses will have very different levels, but that's what I'd recommend in terms of budgets. So yeah, so set your budget, whatever it is that you're willing to spend. Custom audiences, things like that. I've covered that sort of stuff in other videos. If you're interested in how to create custom audiences, lookalike audiences, cover all that, just check out my YouTube channel and you can see more information about that. Most people watching this video aren't going to be targeting custom audiences or lookalike audiences yet here, so we're going to start with a more sort of broader targeting option and just go with some very basic targeting options. Okay, moving down to locations. Now, most businesses that run lead ad campaigns are either local or service-based companies. So the first thing you're going to need to do is set in some sort of location parameter. So, we operate as a Facebook advertising agency, we operate nationally and internationally, so this isn't such an issue for us. But we are based in Cirencester. So if I was to put Cirencester in there, plus 25 miles, and that's what I wanted to be my sort of range of the people that I want to target, then that's what I could start with. You can see the reach is just under 1 million people, leaving it broad. Most companies that operate on a local-based service providers are probably going to want to go with something a little bit smaller. 15 miles. If you're in a big city, narrow that right down to perhaps 5 miles, something like that. You see that brings us down to around 500,000 people. Now, this is something that's changed fairly recently with Facebook. And what we're finding more and more is that leaving the targeting completely open in terms of age, gender, and interest targeting options can deliver the best results. And the logic behind that is you have more people to advertise to. So 3 or 4 years ago, people raved about Facebook advertising because of the specificity with which you could target people. So for example, I could target people that are aged, 24 to 28, that are female and interested in weddings, for example, something along those lines. And you can still do that. But if I was, in fact, you know what, let's just quickly do that to show you the issue with doing something like that. 24 to 28 is a bit of an unrealistic targeting parameter. So let's go with something like 20 to let's say 40. And let's select burn. Okay, so that's taken our target audience, just with those small additions in there. That's taken our target audience all the way from just over 500,000 people to just 57,000. Now, depending on what you're advertising, yes, your core demographic of potential customers might be within a certain age range, might be either male or female, might be interested in a certain thing, but there are going to be other people within that 500,000 people that are interested in what you have to offer. Now, if you leave it open, if you just go with 18 plus, change that to 65, both genders, and get rid of any interest targeting options, then you've got all the people in that area to advertise to. Facebook is smart enough to work out who within your target audience is most likely to become a lead, particularly once you've generated, let's say, 50 leads. Their targeting algorithms, their optimization process is all automatic, not something that you have to do, will work out who within your target audience is most likely to become a lead. And Facebook is getting better at this, basically, than advertisers in many senses. So leaving it open often delivers the best results, even if you could say that 90% of my customers are female, etc., etc. Just test leaving it open, seeing if that works. Now, if you operate nationally or internationally, then you're going to have much, much larger audiences, and that's where you are going to want to add some targeting parameters. But I would encourage you not to make your audiences too small. So if you operate nationally in a country like the UK, if possible, I wouldn't go below 500,000. Somewhere like the US, that's probably more like go below 2 million if you operate nationally. So just think about that and don't be keen to add in tons of targeting options like a lot of people do, when often it's easier just to leave it open. Okay, anyway, moving on. Connections, don't worry about that. Automatic placements is what's recommended. Now, normally, if I was running, let's say, a traffic campaign, something along those lines, I would edit placements and just start with perhaps feeds on both Facebook and Instagram. They usually deliver the best results. But because we're using the lead generation objective. So Facebook's going to optimize this campaign to get you as many leads as possible. That's why we set the objective at the beginning. So you don't have to worry about Facebook serving your ads on placements that aren't going to deliver leads. It's just not going to happen. So if your ads are being put on something like the marketplace or audience network and you're not generating leads, don't worry. Facebook will very quickly work that out and they will serve your ads on more effective placements. So for the most part, you can leave that as automatic placements. And then optimization for ad delivery, get rid of that. Don't worry about target cost. Leave it at lowest cost for now. I've created other videos about that if you want to get in more detail, but that's what I would usually recommend. And that's it. Leave everything else. So all you need to do when you come in here is set your location targeting parameters if you're local. Make sure that your targeting options fit your business. As I said, bigger audiences produce better results now. You will find videos, you'll find some of mine where I talked about being really specific 3 years ago. That's changed, so don't worry about that. Okay, so that's the ad set. Now let's go have a look at the ad, because this is obviously a very important component of the lead ad. This is really the difference between something working really well and not. So when you create a lead ad campaign, the first thing you need to sort of decide, or at least when you get to the ad level, is what's your offer going to be. And that's my sort of number one piece of advice, is make sure that you're offering something that people really want. It could be your time, it could be an amazing discount, it could be something completely free, but it has to be something that gets people when they're scrolling through their Facebook newsfeed to go, oh wow, yeah, I could really do with that. Great, I'll sign up for that there. So for a lot of service-based businesses, we use free consultations. We'll say, look, someone will come out and give you a free quote. If you're thinking about doing something to your property and someone's going to come out and quote for you, that's appealing. If you're, a B2B based company and someone's going to give you a free strategy session or a free consultation or something along those lines, that's very appealing. So those are the sort of options we use a lot. If you're a local based business, like a restaurant or something, use lead ads, then you could go with a discount. So you could say, sign up here to get 50% off your first visit. Again, it has to be something that people really want. So keep that in mind. The service-based businesses kind of take care of themselves with the offer. It's a free consultation, free quote, something along those lines. You have to get a bit more creative with other types of businesses. So like local businesses, I like to use a discount of some sort. Product-based e-commerce companies probably won't be using lead ads too much, probably using conversion campaigns, generating purchases. But if you do want to experiment with lead ads, then again, I would focus on the discount aspect of it. That's going to get people to take action. So for this, the example I'm going to give, I'm going to use a free consultation offer, a free strategy session offer, which is something we offer. In fact, if you're interested, I'll quickly mention, if you're interested in having our company, our Facebook advertising agency, run Facebook ads for you, then you can book a strategy session with me. Just click on the link in the video description. That'll take you straight through. Free 30-minute phone call. I'll take a look. You tell me a little about your business. I'll recommend a strategy, give you a price for how much we would charge to implement it, and all that sort of stuff. So this is a campaign we've run before when we want to generate a lot of leads quite quickly. And yeah, it's just in line with the sort of thing we regularly do. So the offer here is going to be a free strategy session. So obviously, moving down the page, first thing I want to do is change that image. So if you're a portfolio-based company, then whatever image you go for is going to be something portfolio-based. So let's say you're an architect, or you create this bespoke desks, for example. Then whatever your lead ad is, you're going to want to include an image of your work. For other businesses like mine, that doesn't really make sense. So you can come up with take some creative images of yourself, anything B2B, something like an office, things like that. They can work relatively well. Most of the time, in the interest of speed, in the interest of testing an offer, I would just go click on this little stock thing here and have a look at some of the stock images. So if I was to put in here something to do with our services, so let's say I go with Facebook advertising. That didn't seem to work. Let's try again. So if I was to go with, I need to type. That might be a bit too specific. Let's go with digital marketing. And sorry, it's being a bit slow because I'm recording the video at the same time. Computer seems to struggle slightly. So here we've got some images we can use from Shutterstock that are to do with digital marketing. And normally, if we're looking to get an offer up and test to see whether it's going to work or not, we will just come in and grab one of these images. Try and get something that's a little bit colourful, a little bit interesting. Things like this with hands in can often work quite well. With a bit of text in can grab people's attention. Something like that might work reasonably well. So have a look through these options, things that are connected to your business, that are interesting. If you feel like you can do better than these and create some stuff yourself, fantastic. Then go ahead and do so. But you can use these. We've had a lot of success using stock images. So let's just pop this one in for now. Have a look at what that looks like a little bit larger. There we go. So we might want something a little bit more Facebook related, but it's clearly something digital. It's interesting. It's going to grab people's attention. There's a hand in it, which has been shown to grab people's attention. So let's stick with that for now. Okay, so that's our image. And now let's scroll down. Let's start with the headline. So in the headline, you very simply want to include whatever your offer is. So in this case, I would use free Facebook advertising strategy sessions. Very, very simple. Remember, let me just get that down because I'm obviously in the way a little bit. Remember, people are scrolling through Facebook very, very quickly. They're not paying a huge amount of attention. You want to grab it with whatever the offer is. So 50% off, for first-time visitors to the restaurant. Free interior design consultations, if you're an interior designer, something along those lines. Okay, then we move on to the text. Now, I like to keep this relatively short. You want to do a number of... In fact, you know what? I've got some copy prepared of ads we've run in the past. I'm just going to paste that in, and then I'm going to talk you through the elements of it. So the first thing we're doing is we're sort of calling out to our target market. So the first line we've got here is struggling to make Facebook work for your business. We know that a lot of people that become customers of ours have tried to use Facebook, have tried to create Facebook ad campaigns, and they haven't worked, and that's why they want to work with a professional company. So that's using what's called the call out method. Is there something like that? You could have want, whatever your service provides. So struggling to make Facebook work for your business is going to grab the people we want to attract. It's going to grab their attention. Then it's going to say, we can help. That's going to keep them reading. As a Facebook advertising agency, we've created hundreds of successful campaigns for clients in many different industries. This does two things. It establishes our credibility. So I'm saying, we're a proper agency here. This is not just someone who just put up an ad online, operating out of their back room, for example. And then it's also talking about how many campaigns we've created. I mean, at least hundreds at this point. Campaigns have been successful for clients and in many different industries. So you're letting people know, don't worry, don't rule yourself out of this working for you based on an industry that you might be involved in. You might go, oh, they probably haven't worked with X, Y, and Z. So you're overcoming a bit of an objection there. And then we just talk about the offer. And right now we're offering free 30-minute strategy sessions, and then you tell them exactly what to do. Click the button below to sign up now. Very, very simple. It's all above the fold. There's no see more button. This is on a mobile newsfeed preview. So you can see we've got call out method in the first, struggling to make Facebook work for your business. We can help. obviously that's just piquing their interest and keeping them reading. As a Facebook advertising agency, we've created hundreds of successful campaigns for clients in many different industries. We're building our credibility, we're proving that we can help, we're overcoming the objection, and then we're talking about the offer, what the offer is, and then we're telling them what to do, the call to action. So click the button below to sign up now. Very, very simple. And that's the basic makeup of your ad. You don't need to add in a newsfeed link description. Offer in the headline, something similar to this, obviously for your specific offer in the copy. An image, if you're a portfolio-based company, then great, go ahead and use an image or that shows your work. If you're not, stock images can work absolutely fine. Then scrolling down, call to action, it's usually going to be sign up. There are a few different options here. You could have learn more, get quote, get offer. Just go with the one that best describes what it is that you're offering. Most of the time that's going to be sign up for something like a free strategy session, free consultation, something along those lines. Okay, and then you need to create a lead form. So the difference between Facebook lead ads, well, one of the differences between those and other types of ads is that when people click on this ad, when they click on the sign up button, they aren't taken to your website or anything like that. They stay within Facebook and they're presented with a lead form where they can enter their contact information so that you can then go ahead and contact them after they've done that. So let's go ahead and create a lead form, and let's just create a brand new one. Obviously I've got lead forms in here, but let's create a new one. Okay, so first thing you want to do is give your form a name. So I could just call this example lead form for now. It probably doesn't matter that much, but if you were, if you've got an ad account with tons of lead forms, you're going to want to make sure that you differentiate between the lead forms so it's not confusing later on down the line. So the next thing you need to decide is, what do you want from this lead ad? Are you after a high volume of leads, or are you after high quality leads? Those are nearly always opposed. If you optimize for as many as possible, you're almost guaranteed to, there will be good quality ones in there, but it won't be, the average won't be as high as if you really sort of require a lot of information up front. You can click here, higher intent, and it adds in a review screen. I would recommend that when you started, just go with more volume, see how they perform, what the quality is like, and then look to potentially make adjustments if, you're just finding that the lead quality is not what you need it to be. Again, intro, for the same reasons, I get rid of it. I don't think it's necessary or adds that much. Then you've got the questions. So you've got a headline here. So it says sign up by providing your info below. I would usually go with something like that, but I would just make it specific to the offer. So sign up for your free 30-minute strategy session by providing your info below. Something really, really simple like that. Just make it a little bit more specific to the offer. Okay, and then what information do you want to request? Facebook automatically has email, full name. The big one that I think just about everyone should add is phone number. Because if you're a service-based business, and so let's say, for example, people are signing up to these 30-minute strategy sessions. Now, if I email these people that sign up, very few are going to get back to me. I don't really know why. It's just one of those things. I think people are so used to sort of spam emails and things like that, they don't get back to you. Even though they've signed up for it, if you email them, very few will get back to you. If you include a phone number, you can call them, you can get them on the phone, and you can get that booked in. So no matter what your offer is here, if you're offering anything like a free consultation, I'd really, really recommend you add in your phone number. You just got a much better chance of contacting your new lead and then obviously being able to progress them through your sales process. You can obviously add custom questions. There's all sorts of things that you can ask in here, but 99% of the time, those are the three that I ask for. Okay, moving on. You then need to, so that's the questions. Privacy policy. You need to link to your company's privacy policy. So you've probably got that on your website, something along those lines. That's what we do. But you need to pop a link in there and then obviously include, so it'll show down here, view Ben Heath's privacy policy. So you can come through to my website and see my privacy policy, etc. You're collecting people's data here. Very important that you have that, all that GDPR compliant. Make sure you get those boxes ticked, things like that. Okay, I'm not going to add that in now. It's fairly self-explanatory. And then thank you screen. So the automatic is thanks, you're all set. Your info has been sent to Ben Heath. Tap below to visit Ben Heath. I normally get rid of that. So they can, again, you need a link to your website at the bottom if they want to go check out your website, or you can change this to, give you a call if you want them to give you a call, something like that. So, for example, if you're like a dentist or something and you want people to call to book in appointments, you can have call business and then you pop in, your phone number. Most of the time, it's going to be view website. and then obviously you need button text, and then you pop the link to your website in there, and then in the description I would usually have something like, your info has been sent to Ben Heath. They will contact, or even, I prefer to say, we will contact you shortly to schedule your free strategy session. Just make it a little bit more tailored to the offer. Something like that, absolutely fine. And then very few people will click on this view website button. They will just go on and basically forget about this. And that's another thing with lead ads you want to do, is follow up them really quickly. The quicker you catch people after they've done this, the better. If you leave it a couple of days, people will have forgotten that they signed up for this. And basically your campaign won't be as effective, and you've already paid for the lead, so that's particularly annoying. So once you've added in your links in terms of, link to your website and your privacy policy, you can click finish, which is actually just hidden by me being on the screen here, and then your lead form will be good to go. And then just come down, click here, click publish on your ad, and you are good to go. Let it run for a few days. Obviously, make sure you check your lead ads to find out where they are. And I'll include a link. If you don't know where to find that data, that can be confusing. So I'll include a link in the video description that shows you where to access that data, so I don't get tons of questions on it. Click publish and you're good to go. As I said, lead ads are great for producing a very high volume of leads. Sometimes they're not the best quality, and you may want to come back in and make adjustments to your lead form here with an introduction and perhaps a review screen and things like that. But they can be very, very effective because they can generate such a huge volume of leads. If you want to, spend not a huge amount of money and generate 40, 50 leads a month, I work with a lot of businesses that are used to generating perhaps 3 leads a month, and we start generating 40 plus leads for the month, and it does incredible things for their business. So hopefully you found this video useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment below if you've got any questions. I'll happily get to them. And remember to subscribe to the channel for more sort of Facebook advertising related content. As I said, if you want us as a Facebook advertising agency to help you with this sort of stuff, to create campaigns for you, then the link will be in the video description. Just click on that, go through to book a free 30-minute strategy session, what we've been talking about as the example. I'll happily have a chat with you, assess your business, and come up with a strategy in terms of how I think you should be advertising on Facebook and how you can get the best out of it. So hopefully I'll talk soon, but either way, best of luck with everything, and see you later. Bye guys, bye-bye.